She doesn't remember him. Since they find proof of her having lived there before, they officially introduce her to the rest of the residents with a warm welcome. Afterward, the celebration continues with some karaoke thanks to the generator being connected to the machine for the special occasion. While Young Tak sings, he thinks about the fact Hye-won didn't recognize him, and a flashback reveals the truth. His real name was Se Baum and he used to be a taxi driver. Before the earthquake, he broke into the apartment belonging to the real Young Tak, who worked for an organization that scammed people. Se Baum was one of his victims and wanted his money back, but when Young Tak refused to help him, Se Baum attacked him. Young Tak managed to stab him, but Se Baum didn't give up and threw him on the floor to kill him by filling his mouth with the stones while Young Tak's mother watched and had a seizure. At that moment, Se Baum got a call from his wife and daughter, who were yelling at him because the debt collectors had come by to take everything. Then the earthquake happened, and since his wife hated him anyway, Se Baum stayed there and took over the identity of Young Tak. Sometime later, when the residents go to pick up their weekly rations, an argument ensues because it's barely enough to live. The anti-crime force gets more food than the others and a man calls it unfair while showing the scar he acquired when he was working on repairs. He also accuses the anti-crime force of being murderers, which is overheard by Myung-hwa. GMA ends the argument by telling them that if they don't like it, they should leave. Later in private, Myung-hwa asks Min-sung if he killed anyone. Min-sung tells her there was an incident but that the guy didn't die. However, Myung-hwa is disgusted by such violence and tells him not to go on those searches anymore. Afterward, Myung-hwa takes some of her extra supplies to Do-kyun to help the hidden outsiders. Meanwhile, Young Tak visits Hye-won with the excuse of bringing her a heater. He also asks her if she knows his mother, and when she says yes, Young Tak corners her against the wall. With a threatening voice, he asks if she remembers him now, so Hye-won lies and says yes for the sake of her safety. Moments later, Hye-won is having a wound checked on by Myung-hwa, who asks how things are outside. Hye-won says it's hell out there, but there's a rumor of a group living near the station. When other women in the room begin making comments, Hye-won calls them out for their sheltered hope and points out there are hundreds of bodies out